Washington Democrats want to turn the government into the state's largest drug dealer. Welcome to the Jason Rantz Show, presented by None Better Tax Resolution. Move over, Mexican drug cartels. We have a new player in town, Washington State Democrats. And they're looking to turn the state government into the most influential drug dealer. After the Washington State Supreme Court declared our felony drug possession law unconstitutional, Democrats advanced a temporary bill that legalized personal possession of all drugs. It's directly led to a historic fatal overdose crisis. They've now offered a fix with Senate Bill 5536. It would make drug possession a gross misdemeanor with a potential maximum jail sentence of 364 days, a $5,000 fine, or both. If the addict gets treatment as part of a diversion program, they wouldn't serve any jail time. But buried in this bill are two, let's just call them problematic initiatives. The bill creates a safe supply work group, which is meant to, quote, evaluate potential models for safe supply services and make recommendations on the inclusion of a safe supply framework in the Washington State Substance Use Recovery Services Plan to provide a regulated, tested supply of controlled substances to individuals at risk of drug overdose. So in other words, the government could become the state's largest illicit drug dealer. And the work group has to include former drug addicts, which likely ensures a bias towards government-funded and distributed drugs like fentanyl, heroin, and cocaine. Now, the argument has been that if you can supply drugs that are free from unknown substances, the addict will stay alive long enough to eventually get treatment. But Democrats won't force or coerce an addict into treatment. They postpone the inevitable drug overdose, sure, but it just forces them to languish in misery even longer. As bad, also buried in this bill, is a mandate to create something called health engagement hubs, which enable drug addicts to keep using. They can be mobile or they can be standalone structures that provide opioid treatment. However, they must also provide, quote, harm reduction services and supplies. Well, harm reduction is a radical strategy that gives addicts tools to continue using their drug of choice. Now, those supplies include syringes, crack pipes, and other smoking equipment, which typically includes steel wool to serve as a pipe filter or rubber bands to wrap around the pipe's mouthpiece. It helps prevent burns. This bill specifically says that it has to be open to youth. Washington Democrats want to give your kids crack pipes. Nothing to see here, folks. Move right along. If you're concerned, you must want addicts to die. Well, as addicts die, Democrats do little to nothing to endorse drug cessation. The radical left are simply incapable of offering standalone drug treatment. They view offering treatment alone as stigmatizing to the addict, which they argue stops people from seeking treatment. But what actually stops treatment is handing an addict a crack pipe or a needle. And if the work group is actually successful in promoting a safe supply model, handing out drugs to addicts, yeah, obviously it's going to make the crisis worse. There are some addicts who need jail time to get clean. Others need intensive addiction services, not free drug supplies. If an addict feels stigmatized when we call out their deadly decisions, so be it. I'd rather them be upset and alive than unoffended and dead. Did you like this video? We have a whole lot more over at KTTH.com.